Today we're going to be trying a different deck from our regular red-green Transmog Titan. This time it's with blue-white Monument. The deck revolves mainly around Oketra's Monument, 3-mana legendary artifact, cost reducer for white creatures, and on cast makes a 1/1 white warrior with vigilance. Our entire deck is white creatures, so it works on everything. And this is actually a deck that I ran into during a couple of my RCQs. There was one player who brought the deck and did pretty well with it, either top 8ing or barely bubbling every time I saw him. And the deck looked very interesting, had a lot of fun cards. Westvale Abbey, it has Charming Prince, it also has Deputy of Detention, Elite Guard Mage, Angel of Invention. So it's got like a value and kind of a tokens sub-theme with Oketra's Monument. You can really push a lot of damage with Angel of Invention, pumping up your creatures, as well as Intrepid Adversary, which for 3 mana pumps up your entire team when you've got Oketra's Monument out. It's pretty good versus control. It's pretty decent into red-black as well, with all your cards basically cantripping, and with Oketra's Monument more than cantripping, you can really grind them out. The only deck that we struggle with a lot is Mono Green Devotion. We really don't have much game versus them, especially if we're going second, since our only real interaction starts on turn 3. So it's pretty rough game 1. Game 2 it does get a little bit easier with Portable Hole and Apparition, but it's still a matchup we don't have a good time with. But as for the sideboard, we're running Portable Holes for aggro decks like Spirits, Humans, and Mono Green, which is not an aggro deck but still needs removal. Rest in Peace for Greasefang and Phoenix, Elite Spellbinder for Greasefang and Control and Combo, Gideon for Control and for Rakdos, Dovin's Veto for Control and for Combo, and Skyclave Apparition for pretty much every deck that runs creatures and removal. But yeah, that's this deck. That's a blue-white Monument, and I will see you in match number 1. Starting off in match number 1, we are going first with a pretty solid hand. This deck definitely likes having 4 lands, and we have a good combination of value and interaction with Deputy and Selfless Spirit, as well as Guard Mage. So I think we will keep. We'd really like to see our Monument. That card pushes this deck way over the edge, but I'm not really wanting to throw this back. Love to see decks like Humans and Red-Black. Those are ones that we prey naturally on, but we can handle most things. Looks like we are facing Control here. Not a terrible matchup for us. Our Deputies and our Reflector Mages aren't going to be particularly good, but they are still potentially okay. Oh, Portable Hole. I was going to say potentially okay into their Planeswalkers. Looks like we're going to just be exiling that Portable Hole to get our creature back. Not like we're doing much else this turn, so I feel like we might as well get ourselves a Selfless Spirit. Next turn we can try for Guard Mage. I don't expect it to resolve until they tap out. Fateful Absence. We might as well, because if we don't, we lose both things, so might as well do that. We still get to investigate since it doesn't have a condition attributed to needing to destroy it. And I think we'll wait to deploy the Westvale Abbey for another turn or two, just because I don't want to get hit by a Field of Ruin. Looks like they tapped out a lot more than I'm used to for Control. Okay, and because we drew Angel, if they do go for a Wrath here, we'll just slam Angel and try and push with that. Nope. We're still gonna go to attacks, I think, before dropping the angel, which may seem a little weird since it pumps up our team, but I think it's so likely they have Counterspell or Wander that I just don't want to risk it getting countered. Okay, so they don't bite. This is 5 to make a token, so I'll do that. I hesitate to play more into this board, so I think I'm going to just pass here. We have a decent clock. They'll probably just go for the... Okay, just cycle. I was thinking they'd go for a Memory Deluge. Might be a mistake to be playing this slowly, but I don't want to overcommit when we don't have the value hand that we're used to. Okay, we did get Monument, which is quite good. It does unfortunately die to Farewell, but aside from Planeswalkers, everything does. We'll try and land it, and if it does resolve, we'll go for Thraben, and if it doesn't resolve, we'll go for Thraben. Looks like it does get countered. We'll still go for the Thraben. Inspector. It's a nice cantrip. And we can start pumping out tokens with Westvale Abbey if we need to. It resolves, and we'll pass to them. They are only at 13, so I don't, again, feel like we need to commit too much more. They did have the Field of Ruin, that's unfortunate. But it looks like they're just going for Teferi. Okay, that's not too bad. We can always bounce it if need be. They just draw. We'll probably go for the Angel of Invention here. But first we're going to draw a card with our clue token. Thali is quite good here. I do actually have the mana for both. Okay, second Westvale Abbey is quite nice. We do only run 2, so I'm happy to see both. But we have 7 mana, so we can basically stop any counter spell that isn't like Jawari Disruption or Censor by playing this way. They might just counter it. They need white, I think, yeah. Absorb. That's fine. They realize they have to use it now or forever hold their peace. And we're going to fabricate to servos. Kill the Teferi, I think. Yeah, they're at a high enough life total that getting rid of Teferi is a priority. And barring a Wrath, I'm probably going to try and turn the Westvale Abbey around. Our opponent just thinks for a little bit and then passes back to us, holding open Field of Ruin, Hall of the Storm Giants. Pretty much anything is an option for them, but we do have both Otawara and Aganjo in hand. I'm not going to play around Settle the Wreckage game 1, and I'm not going to go for Westvale Abbey when our board is still looking strong, since we do lose to just Wandering Emperor if we do that line. Okay, what do they have here? Fateful Absence. I could Otawara it back, but that doesn't seem very good. This reduces our damage by a lot. Even so, it's still a good chunk dealt to them. Let's see. I think no matter what, we're going to make a clue token. Or sorry, use the clue token. Deputy is not that incredible. I think we're just going to make a Westvale Abbey token We do also have the capacity to just flip the Westvale Abbey if need be, but more than likely, they're just going to Field of Ruin our guy. No? Just a 1/1 human? That's fine. And since sacrificing is cost, they can Field of Ruin us in response if they're creative about it. Teferi, that's fine. Yeah, I think we're just going to be paying 1 life and making a white and black creature token. I own this deck in paper, and the black and white cleric tokens are really expensive. I guess they only do have 1 printing, but they're like a couple dollars per token. Luckily, it's like 5 mana per token, so you don't get to see them too often. But I did pick up a couple just to have. Okay. We have quite a few different options here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't have a lethal attack unless we decide to activate the Westvale Abbey, which just gets completely destroyed by the Field of Ruin. I am able to Deputy the Teferi, but I think we will just start by attacking. Our utility lands are quite strong. They can make another castle and block 2 of the servos or block a human. They could also have the Wanderer here. No, just making another token. I think with that, we will Deputy their Teferi. They can't kill any of our things except for tokens. Okay, they kill the black and the white token. So I think we got enough blue mana, but we've also got a lot of white mana. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can commit 6 of it to Westvale Abbey and go for the aforementioned Deputy of Detention. I am not too keen on committing anything more to this board. They're at 3. And we're going to have a pretty lethal attack on them. Maybe we just commit the Elite Guard Mage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, but then we couldn't hold open Westvale Abbey. So I think we'll actually just hold back for a turn. Might be wrong, but I don't want to play any more into a Wrath than we have. They can downtick the Teferi on our Deputy, eat our Thraben Inspector or our Servo token, kind of ruin our day that way. But I think they have to Wrath, realistically, to not just die. We have so much to deal with anything they try and put out. Okay, there's the Wrath. Glad I didn't commit anything further than what I already did. Nothing to Portable Hole. Sad to lose so many cards, but we do have some amount of refuel. And we're probably going to hold on to the Otawara for a little bit longer. Just to stop their Teferi from ultimating. One, two, three, four, five. So they can activate Castle Ardenvale. They cannot activate Hall of Storm Giants. And I think we're going to focus our attention on killing them. I'll shock. Our life total isn't really relevant here. And I'll keep both Westvale Abbeys just in case they aggressively try and target one. We don't have to feel forced to activate it. Draw a card. Land is not a really good draw, but that's fine. Coming at them. They can just Castle Ardenvale. But that's their mana. Okay. They do that. My castle costs life to activate. Could have bounced the Teferi, would rather just have another attempt at a lethal attack. They go to untap. I'll wait for them to untap first in case they try and get frisky with the Field of Ruin. Make our friend. Back down to a very low 21. Angel of Invention is pretty good draw here. Gives us more to just kill them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can go for Hollow Storm Giants, and we can pay for it multiple times over if we try and bounce it with Odawara. But I think the first thing to do is try and kill them. So they have the Wandering Emperor. I'll let them down tick on the Elite Guard Mage. We can bounce it. That just runs the risk of not being able to answer Teferi super well. I think we're okay with this. We can still slam Deputy of Detention if they try and gain life, or not gain life, make a creature with Castle Ardenvale. They do only have 2 cards in hand. They might feel pressured to use Absorb here. I think we're going to upkeep, knock their Teferi back to their hand. It's getting a little too close for comfort. Deny them the card draw and force them to have to spend more turns before they can ultimate it. They, of course, do cast it. They Field of Ruin our Westvale Abbey, but we do have a second one for them to Field of Ruin in another turn. They untap. We're not really presenting a lethal clock here, though Charming Prince might help with that. We will attempt to land an Angel of Invention. We're certainly running low on resources, so I hope this one lands. Cycle of a useless sensor. Okay, it does land. And I'm going to make some servos. We'll get straight to attacking. They probably have another Wanderer from how they just gave away their Wandering Emperor willy-nilly. Maybe not. I think I'll deploy... No, I think I hold open the Westvale Abbey. So good. Just making a block, or making an attacker every turn. Looks like a farewell. just a march. Does prevent them from dying. And wow, that was a lot of mana they had to spend on it, but they have mana to burn. They go for the field now. We've got plenty of plains in the deck, but we don't have any more Westvale Abbeys. I think we run 6 plains. Yeah. Should have looked a little bit closer, but I think we're like almost out of lands, so... Or like, not just basics, but any lands. That is a very funny draw. If this resolves, we just kill them. Assuming they don't have any of their removal, which they seem to. Damn, that would have been so good if we just got that to land. We'll scry here. No reason to pick any other mode. Keep the angel on top. Go for a swing. That face. Barring any interference, we do have another lethal attack next turn. Hopefully they're running low on good cards. But even with us going for an angel, they still have Hall of Storm Giants that they can just keep open to eat our Charming Prince and go to 1. I'm not used to being down on clock over my opponent. Thinking about their options. Probably trying to calculate if they can... Okay. It's quite bad. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. I think our next draw after this has to be like another adversary. Because their Teferi is just going to ultimate in another turn, and we'll lose at that point. But post-board, we do get a lot better. Having ourselves 4 Spellbinders and 3 Veto. If this gets countered, I will just go to the next game. Does not get countered. We will absolutely make some servos. And then hope this is enough to get us there. They can activate Ardenvale here. Probably do. No? Big Shark? Oh, another March. So I think that basically settles it. Since even if we do draw an adversary, I don't think we can get there. Oh, now we definitely can't. So I am going to concede here. Don't really think any draw would save us. Reflector Mage, nope, would not have saved us. So we will be cutting all 4 of our Reflector Mages with basically no reason to keep them in. Spellbinders are good. I think I want to keep 1 Deputy just as a coward's strat. And probably trim on the Thalias down to 2. I want to keep as many of our cards valuable. And Thraben Inspector is at least a cantrip. They didn't spend much time sideboarding. I guess you might be surprised that they don't have a lot of sideboard tech for blue-white Monument. This hand is definitely keepable. We've got Veto. Charming Prince is an incredible card in the matchup. Try and scry us into some good cards. Our opponent also keeps a 7. Start with a tap land. start with a tap land. And that will be the last tap land for a while. Charming Prince. Scry 2. Keep the Spellbinder. Bin land number 5. I think I'm gonna actually just deploy the Thraben Inspector here, barring them trying to like kill our creature. Just because I want to play around a Censor. Every card in our hand is so valuable that I'm okay playing off curve when we're not even really playing off curve by that much, since we're still going to be utilizing all our mana. End step. I'll draw one. Another veto. Quite good. I think I'm okay with this being on the white side again. And I think I will go for an adversary here. Yeah. I'll go for an adversary here. It's pretty nice because if they try and counter it, we can counter back. They need white for that. And I will spend one of my counter spells on this. We are running into their Wrath turn, but if they Wrath us, we can just slam a Guard Mage and go from there, or if we draw an untapped land, we can Spellbinder and hold open Veto. Field of Ruin. Okay, Monument's good, but kind of awkward. We're gonna see if we can't just attack into the Wandering Emperor. Okay, looks like that is happening here. Unless they're exiling this for X = 2. I'm okay if that's happening. Just a shark. I think we're gonna take a break from casting creatures to go for a Monument. We still have a turn before they have their really strong Wrath effects, and this will allow us to Spellbinder, hold up Veto. I don't think they have anything that would counter this. They don't run Spell Pierce. Quite sure of this. Cycle Censor, glad we played around that, because it's a pretty surefire thing they have it. Cycles another Censor. Portable Hole can hit our Charming Prince. That's fine. I think we got what we needed from him. Another removal spell. If they march the Thraben Inspector, that can't be right, because they can just march the Oketra's Monument. Oh. They are marching it, they just have to spend a card on it. That's fine. Would love to draw a land here. We did. That'll allow us to Spellbinder, keep up the Veto. There is some argument for the Guard Mage. Okay, let's see. I don't think we take Portable Hole. We don't really care about them exiling our small fries now. And they don't have a 5th land for Teferi. And if they just try and slam Teferi, we can kind of ruin their day by... Let's see. Do they have to exile this from their hand? Yes. Okay. Just making sure there's no shenanigans where they could exile it from exile. Because there is a ruling that says if you exile something already in exile, it stays in exile. But they have these 3 cards left in hand. They drew Censor for turn and cycled it. Drew another land. So we're still a turn away from Teferi coming down or attempting to. Would love another land. Great, that is really good. We cannot Or sorry, they don't know we have no basic islands. So it might be a risk to tap one of the Hallowed Fountains, since they could target it and put us off blue source so we couldn't counter what they do. But let's see. They'd be at 1 if we did this play. I think I'm actually going to hope to draw another blue source like this. We have to use a blue source to cast this if we are going to. Okay, that's really good. Since now, even if they Field of Ruin us end a turn, we can still hold open veto. They don't even go for it. Not really sure why they didn't. They did have the mana available for it. We'll be countering that Teferi, setting them to 1. They have another Teferi, Portable Hole, unknown card. Is there anything this could draw that kills them? No, but we're still gonna deploy it, I think. If we draw a land, it's really bad. And we do... We'll attack first, and then I'll think about it after. We exiled Behold the Multiverse, that's right. I think that their only out is a Wrath here, exactly a Wrath. So I'm not going to commit anything further to the board. If they just go for Teferi, I don't think there's anything that they can draw off it that would allow them to survive. What would we have drawn, though? Thalia. Would have been pretty nice. And then Adversary after. Who knows? This time we'll bring in Gideon. I think it's good enough to run and cut Thalia's, since it's not as useful when we can't bring it down on our turn 2 before they take their turn 2. Aside from that, ooh, pretty good hand. A lot of beaches, but at least they come in untapped past the first one. It's awkward, I guess, if we drew exactly Thraben Inspector, and they're on a multi 6. Love to see it in a deck where we push them down so hard in card advantage. Okay, Hallowed Fountain. Yeah, we can shock that in turn 2 for the Charming Prince. Our life total is not the most incredibly relevant thing. We can also just play this land. Get the Censor out of them. Nope. I will take a Thraben Inspector. Fits into our curve in a turn pretty nicely. Okay. Get to swinging. Thinking about what I'd like to do. I think we are going to... I think we'll do a similar thing to last time and just play the Thraben Inspector to play around Censor. Because at this point all their counterspells are active for the rest of the game. So I might as well turn off the half of them that require me to only have 1 mana. We are certainly not hurting on mana here. Swing first, and then deploy our Spellbinder. Might get countered. But if it doesn't, gaining perfect knowledge of their hand is quite good. Okay, this definitely warrants a counter spell from them. What do they have here? Teferi, probably? Yep. I think it's a good time to try and slam the angel. Yeah, I think we have to. A lot of lands here. But yeah, if this resolves, I feel great. Really open for not censor. Okay, good. Now we are going to kill the Teferi. Or at least try to. We're pretty soft to a Wrath, which is kind of unusual for our deck to be this soft, but we've drawn a lot of lands, and that's fine. That just means that the remaining portion of our deck is stronger. We've only drawn 8 of the 24 lands, so I guess it's not too unlikely. Okay. I can exile the portable hole. I think the first thing to do is swing with big stuff. Deal him some damage. Take him down to 10. I'm going to deploy the Monument. This gets countered. Then I'll try for Deputy. I've got a pretty good read that they don't have Censor. They could have drawn it for turn. But we will, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 damage exactly. I was probably going to scry anyway, but okay, that's pretty good. Let's see. Just turn 6, we played our land. I think I want both on top in this order. We are forcing them to have a Wrath, which they certainly could have, but barring that, I feel amazing. I think it's only Wraths that do us in, and we do have a lethal attack set up. And yeah, get to swinging. Love that this doesn't die to Wander, but they can exile our Deputy. I'd love for them to just make a token. Dang, if they made a token, they just lose on the spot. But now they can hit our Charming Prince. That's kind of sad. They get a lot of life swing back. But they're still dead. Next turn. Puts them again in need Wrath or die mode. And I think I am going to hold off on the clue, or hold off on the, yeah, I guess hold off on clue and hold off on the guy. Since I don't want to lose to a Wrath any harder than I'm already putting myself. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Dream Trawler. That's not too bad. Who am I kidding? That's terrible. But at least we can kill it. They should just put a counter. Okay, they're doing that. They've only got 1 card in hand, so let's see what we draw. Angel, they gain 3. Let's say they block here, they block here. That also negates this one, and then they take 6. They'd be at 1. Is there any way to kill the Dream Trawler? No. So I think our best bet is Bugler, hope to find like our 1... Or no, they exiled our Deputy, so we don't have any removal left, I don't think, do we? Yeah, so we took out all our removal. We can win by drawing Adversary, but he can't be drawn by Bugler. Let me just do a recount. They block for 3. That also stops this 3. They block this one, and yeah, they go to 1. So I think think I want to do the Bugler line and then probably just a Gonjo, the Dream Trawler. Maybe that forces them to discard a card. Regardless, I think it's pretty good. We missed. That's bad. Okay, they block kind of like how I'd expect them to. We will a Gonjo. They can discard the card to give it hexproof. They do. They discard it to Fairy. I mean, it is very relevant to have a Dream Trawler. But yeah, this puts them top decking. If they swing with Dream Trawler, they don't get any of the blocking, but they do get 5 life. And they do have a block with Hall of Storm Giants. Cycle, Censor, gain a life. I don't have any blocks that can be made. They're back to 10. Okay. Intrepid Adversary is just stronger here. They need not Censor. They need Absorb here to not die, or a removal spell, of course. But I will be paying my taxes. They can go to 1 here. I feel like they've been at 1 for like every turn in a row. They're just Wandering Emperor. Is that better than activating the Hall? I'm not sure. At least they can make a creature token, but they're down to 2. And they should go up to 7 or 8, depending on what their draw was. Very nail-biting game. Drawing Adversary was quite good. Would have loved to have that Dovin's Veto as an option, but unfortunately, Militia Bugler does not get instants and sorceries. But what it does get is pretty much everything else. And they'll draw another card with the Dream Trawler and hope for no wrath. They play a Glacial Fortress. They make a token. Elite Spellbinder. Okay. They activate Hall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 1 mana available. Can't really do anything with it. Block, block. Go down to 1 again. So, we are in the unenviable position of having to Angel of Invention instead of taking a peek at their hand. But if they don't have Counterspell, I feel good about our chances. Opponent's thinking, probably doing some calculations. If they have the Wandering Emperor part 3, okay, looks like they're countering. No? Yeah, countering. They're up to 10. They block here, and they're dead. So they need the 3rd Wandering Emperor or a removal spell. If they block here, yeah, I have to swing out with everything to kill them. Really hoping for not seeing paying costs. Just gonna fingers crossed. There we go. Whew, that was a absolute nail biter for match 1 of this league. Yeah, our sideboard cards definitely came in clutch there. Elite Spellbinder and Veto in game 2. And, well, in game 3, we kind of just did it on our own merits. I don't think we saw anything that mattered. Or, not that it mattered. We didn't see any sideboard cards, but We got there just on the merits of our deck. And yeah, I will see you for match number 2. We are back in match number 2 after a very intense match 1 versus Control, the blue-white mirror. We're going to go first. It looks like our opponent has a companion with the delay. Gigantha. I really hope they're not Niv. That's pretty much... yeah, it's pretty unbeatable for us, but no use dreading on that. We're just going to play our best. Okay, looks like it's heroic. I have a really good friend in my locals who plays a lot of heroic, and he is pretty adamant that it is just like unwinnable for him. So we're going to test that hypothesis. I'm not going to draw here. I think our life total is a little too important to do that. But yeah, we just have life gain, tokens. We fill up the board so much that about the only thing we care about is protection from white. But we're going to do as much as we can to stem the bleeding. And I played this matchup enough times online that normally we bring in 2 Portable Hole and cut to Oketra's Monument, and bring in 2 Skyclave and cut, I think it might be Deputy that I'm used to cutting, just because they do have 4 copies of Reckless Rage that make our Deputy a lot worse than a Reflector Mage or even a Skyclave Apparition. Okay, they are just tapping out. They can certainly set up a pretty big turn next turn with Dreadhorde Arcanist and Fabled Hoplite, or Favored Hoplite. But assuming we draw land number 5, we're also going to have a pretty good turn. Bugler into Deputy, make 2 1/1 tokens, is quite a turn 4 for us. And it's not every day that we get to land an Oketra's Monument in this matchup. That's why we side it out so often. So I think we have the breathing room to do it here. Skip ahead to when they pass priority. I think they're just stuck in the declare attacker step. Okay, that didn't take too long. Did not draw land this time around, but we did draw a Reflector Mage, which is quite good too. Like I said, think it's a little bit better than Deputy in this matchup, though I have had a couple games where I've gotten to like suck up 2 of their big prowess creatures, or not prowess creatures, heroic creatures, and when they get them back, they're just 1/1s again. With double strike, but that's fine. Okay, time to see what our opponent can do. Well, they're going to be drawing and putting a lot of power into play, but assuming they don't give this trample, I will block. Okay, bigger. Protection, maybe? No, just a flashback. I don't know. I mean, it's scary. They're gonna put it on the... I guess you will see part of why this matchup sucks so bad for them. Okay, we didn't draw a land, but Thalia fits into our curve pretty nicely anyway. I think I'm going to Deputy to cleanse this off. Yeah. I think this is about as good as Deputy's going to be in this matchup. Remove 6 counters, and if they kill it, that's fine. They have another, so if we draw our Charming Prince, we'll probably flicker and bring it back. What I'd really like is a land. Oh wow. Maybe it was a mistake to do it in that way. Well, let's see if we can rectify our mistake by digging 4. And if we don't, we'll just bounce one of the things. Okay, well, we kind of missed, but is it really a miss when we hit another good card that fits into our curve? So I think with 2 favored hoplites, we just push the Dreadhorde Arcanist back to their hand, and we can attack with the Thalia here. If it trades for 2 of their things, or it trades for 1 of their things, I'm still happy with that. I'm very okay with this. Thalia does do a lot of work for us in this matchup, but I'm much more happy keeping their board small, especially when they've got a decent number of lands going on. We do have chump blockers for days, till they bust out the trample. Flashing back the Homestead Courage. Yeah, we'll just chump block unless they... Yep, another one. Are they just tapping out again? Okay. That's Homestead Courage number 3, I believe? Yeah. Well, we will be killing this. I think the first thing to do is that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep. And they can only kill 2 of our creatures unless they want to kill the tokens, which I'm perfectly fine with them doing. Okay. They value killing 3 tokens, which is a pretty reasonable thing to do. I think I'm going to try and dig a little bit deeper for more removal first. Kind of regretting not cracking the clue on turn 2, but I guess we'll have a chance to rectify that now, since I will be cracking the clue this turn. I'd like to use our mana efficiently, keep everything on defense, and dig a little bit deeper. We've got 2 deputies and 3 reflector mages, as well as 4 copies of Charming Prince left in our deck. It's a pretty big favored hoplite. That's the 4th Homestead Courage. Wow, what a courageous opponent. We're getting to the point where them drawing trample might just lose us the game. I'll wait at least until they go to combat. This is basically trample. They choose white and put on top. Okay. This is a place where angel making colorless tokens is very valuable. But if they drew trample, it's a lot worse. Okay, Charming Prince, very strong. Borderline strongest draw there, since it's only 1 mana. That will be... I think I'm gonna flicker the Reflector Mage here. It's nice to deputy whatever, but I'd rather them only get 1. And we'll also put out our Angel of Invention. Fabricate some servos. Okay, and then we'd play a land and Thraben Inspector. I think that's a pretty good representation of this game, or this matchup. Portable Holes. Thalia is still good. Cut down on 2 monuments. Cut down on 2 deputies. I think everything else is pretty good. Good blocker, good card, lifelink, protection. Thalia is just good in the matchup. Could argue that we want to cut an Angel of Invention and keep a Deputy of Detention. Yeah, I think that's fine. Just a little bit more removal. Puts us up to 8 removal spells on turn 3. I think I'm pretty okay with this. And angels are pretty expensive, especially with us cutting down on Oketra's Monument. I think I can justify it pretty easily, but I'll see you when they're ready. Alright, looks like our opponent stepped away from the keyboard for a little bit, but they are back. Would love to see another land here, but we do have some good removal and a turn 2 play with turn 3 removal. I don't think we put it back. I'll exile if they have favored hoplite, but I'll save this if they don't. Alright, after a little delay from our opponent, it looks like they are back and hop in with their hoplite. I'll exile this. Punish is if they draw that 2-drop double strike, whose name seems to escape me right now, but I'm sure we'll see it next turn, so I won't be forgetting it very long. But even if they do have it... Nope, Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay, really looking for that third land. Could be any color, except for the other Westvale Abbey. But 20, I think 23 cards in our deck, so about 50% chance to see it. Really get ourselves in a good spot. Ancestral Anger on the hoplite. That's fine. I guess it's not attacking this turn. But I guess they're hoping on attacking with it for multiple turns in a row. Kind of balances out. They'll get to flash back. I guess I don't need to hold open Selfless Spirit, so we can just yield through this turn, save a little time. I will not be blocking. It would be just a bad play. Land, please. Okay, no land. Don't want to say it's game losing, but it feels game losing. We just had a lot of removal lined up that now will not be active until our turn 4. They have a very scary board. Who knows what happens there. Kept quite a few 2-landers with this deck in the past, and a lot of the times they just don't convert, so maybe I should stop doing that since our turnaround turn is turn 3. But it's a learning experience for me. Yeah, sad to see. Alright, our opponent took a little bit more of a delay, but the only thing you really missed was Ancestral Anger, Flashback Ancestral Anger. I feel obligated to block here. Has Trample, doesn't matter. I'm really hoping they don't have that Rampage 2-mana card that gives everything either +2/+0 and Trample, or +4/+0 to a single target. Would just be quite a blowout in a game that's already close to unwinnable. But I will play until we are dead. Which, graciously, seems like it'll be next turn. If we don't draw an untapped white or blue source. Okay, nothing from them. They add Giganta to hand. Westvale Abbey. That's so funny. The only land we could have possibly drawn that wouldn't have allowed us to cast anything. I'm gonna pack this game up. I think there is no feasible way we get back into it, especially with missing another 2 land drops. So that was quite funny. Sometimes it's just how the games go. But I don't think anything needs to change with our sideboard plan. So let's bring it right back. Going first, they need to reveal their companion. Well, we can keep 2 landers. Can't keep 1 landers. Okay. Normally would feel a lot more stressed about this, but we do have Charming Prince to get ourselves 2 more looks at a land. Beach Plains, Prince, Land, Monument, Mage, Thalia. I don't know if we really have time for Thalia, but I don't know. I'll try it out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks at another land, I think. 2 from the Charming Prince, and 1 from our second, 1 from our third. I guess it's only 4 looks. Pull up the old calculator, see how likely it is to draw 1 in 4. Well, we'll do the calculations while we're playing. So our deck is 54 cards, and we're drawing 4, and we just need 1. And we have, I think it was 22 lands left. So it's looks like an 88.6% chance to get there. I hope we're not in that little under 12% chance to just lose. But I've been punished before for my choices. We'll see if we're punished here. Opponent's getting a little judicious with their use of clock. I hope it doesn't time them out, since that's not the most fun way to win a game. But they are playing an aggressive deck, so I don't think it'll matter too much. Alright, our opponent is off to the races with a favored hoplite. We can land our Thalia here, but that just interferes so much with our Oketra's Monument, and I really am needing that 3rd land. So we'll take a scry. We don't run any obligate tap lands like we do in Red Green Titan, which is one of the nice things about this mana base. Deserted Beach is the only land that I think can come in tapped. I mean, we got shock lands, but those are not tap lands. And then the flip lands, yeah, I think everything comes in untapped, so we're not gonna look at the top 2 and then see like Valakut Awakening and have to regret our choices. Alright, we will scry. Okay. Whew. Love the land. I think we're gonna bottom the Guard Mage, even though it's a nice follow-up. Yeah. Guard Mage. Hengegate. Pass to them. If it hits the fan, we can just Reflector Mage their stuff back if they get super aggressive, or if they drop that double striker and we feel that we need to. But barring that, Oketra's Monument is going to be our next turn's play. And then just really take the game apart from that point onward. Second hoplite, second vantage, attacking for 1. I live in fear, so I will not block. Okay, Defiant Strike. Wow, we drew a land. What a surprise. Play it on the white. And I think we are gonna Monument. And we can throw our Charming Prince away here if we need to, or even if we just feel like it's a good idea. We could have Reflector Mage back one of the hoplites, but Escape Velocity, that's an enchantment, right? Yeah. Pretty cool. Not used to seeing that one. Just attacking for 5. I do kind of want to minimize some of the damage here. Maybe this will get them to pump it a little bit more. No, they're just passing back pretty quickly. But we can start with Thalia. Blanks any of their nonsense protection spell. And looks like they don't have any 1-drops anyway. They pass priority really quickly. This exiles 2 other cards from your graveyard. And they have to pay 2 for it. Yeah, I will bounce this one. Sure, it's a reusable heroic trigger, but I think it's okay if their entire turn is spent doing that. And if we draw another land, I feel pretty good. If we don't draw another land, we'll probably just slam adversary for 1 mana and pump up the jam for 2. I'm really glad I set up hotkeys on this recording, so I don't have to constantly go in and edit a chunk out every time they take a minute off. They should have shocked. Okay. Another monument. Borderline useless here. However, I think we're going to want to plop down an adversary here. And we'll pay the 1. Paid 1 time. I'm cool with attacking. If they trade the hoplite, that's fine with me. They can't even do that because the hoplite would die and then they couldn't deal the damage with the Arcanist. No reason to attack with the warrior. They just take 6 damage. And we'll pass it back to them. Favorite hoplite, they get 1 more. Okay, maybe they have 2 that they can do. Gigantha, okay, they have no instance they can do. Except, I guess they can cast the Defiant Strike for free, plus the 1. Plus separate processing and handling. Block here. And they've conceded. We're gonna run out of time anyway. We do land, play that, draw. Skyclave is pretty good for next turn. So I think we got that match. I don't think there was much that I'm gonna claim to blame on the clock. I think we got our Oketra's Monument down, and Thalia had some nice lifelink. We're actually gonna put that in front of this as well after these 2. Just to gain some life, and then put a 2/2 in front of this. Yeah, so that was a pretty good match. I will see you in match 3. Here for match number 3 with Monument. I think we can keep this 2-lander since we've got Charming Prince again. Keep ourselves at that 88% chance, and since we're going second, it's even higher than that, so I think we got a good balance. We can start on blue with the Henge Gate, or sorry, start on white with Castle, and then go blue for the Henge Gate. Looks like we're versus Junsak. At least I'm assuming from that Crag Crown. We'll do as we say. Scry 2. Yeah, I would like 2 lands, actually. We have more than enough good cards in hand, and we just need the mana to spend. Deadly Dispute. I'll block the Harvester if they swing out. Maybe they forget they don't have a blood and just kill their Blood Tithe for no reason. Push. Cat. Priest. Ooh. Well, that priest is going straight back into their hand. Will not be having any of that nonsense if I can avoid it. And sure, I'll swing out. If they want to attack, I'll trade with the Reflector Mage. Fable. Cool. I'm going to save this second Reflector Mage, probably. Actually, let's see. We know we're on 4 mana. Yeah, I think I'm going to Thalia, Reflector Mage, back that, so I'm not going to block. I have changed my mind. But we are going to go to attacks. Attack with all creatures. And then remove this card from existence. We'll be playing that. No, I don't want to get any weird with the Charming Prince. Sometimes with this deck, if you have 2 Charming Princes out, it's correct to flicker the Charming Prince and then during your next end step, flicker the creature you want. So unlike an empty board, if they didn't have anything, we'd do that, and then it would pretty much disincentivize them from casting any creature spells, since we would just put it right back in their hand with the Reflector Mage. 5 mana Corvold. Yep. A lot easier to deal with in this deck than in Titan. They sack a land. Great. Back to your hand. Swing with everything. Take him down to 8. If we draw a land, I think it's pretty likely we kill them. Especially with them shocking like that. Friend, you can't cast Corvold. Okay, Priest. Mayhem Devil, okay. Scary. Deputy is pretty good. What do we Deputy here? Let's first think. If we Deputy anything, they're guaranteed to go down to 2. And they have to block with the other 2. Mayhem Devil it is. So their best blocks are Reflection on Charming Prince and then Priest. It doesn't matter. They have to block with it or they die. So we are in a commanding position. At least, oh no, they didn't have to block with both. That's my bad. But they, oh no, they did. First strike damage confusing me for some reason. Yeah. Nothing in their deck gets them out of this position, and we draw Deputy for whatever else. So, pretty exceptional win versus Jund Sack. Nice to have 7 creatures that just completely ruin their day with Corvold. I don't think I want Portable Hole. Don't think I want Rest in Peace. Don't think I want Veto. Don't think I want Spellbinder. I'll probably try the Skyclave Apparition. It's good versus their Mayhem Devil, their Oven. Pretty much only thing it's not good against is Corvold. And Gideon I don't think I need. I will cut the Thalias, as good as they might have seemed there. Getting pinged down is kind of a detriment. But yeah, I think that was a pretty good show. Okay, we're gonna keep another 2-lander. Now we do need a specifically blue source, so the likelihood's a little bit lower, but we do have more looks with Charming Prince. And it's not like our hand doesn't do anything if we don't have blue. We have Bugler. But it's a lot better if we do. Okay, Charming Prince number 2. If this one does not get us there, I just do the cat oven thing because they realize what we're doing. Okay, very nice. Do we need a 3rd Charming Prince? I think I would rather try and get our 4th land. Mayhem Devil? That is getting reflected straight back to your face. Nope, Fable. Welp. That is getting reflected straight back to your face. 2. They'll probably, like, sack it to the Witch's Oven. Yeah, smart enough to do. They can't, because they did that, they take 2 damage. So I guess it was worth it for them. I guess I can still block and then have the cat next turn. Yeah, so I guess that makes sense. And we still do have basically 3 removal spells in hand. Hoping for another land. Mayhem Devil's very frightening. They can shotgun down a good portion of our board. But we will be reflecting that guy as well. Missed on our 4th land. Can't get lucky every time. Kills our Reflector Mage with Fatal Push. So they have Mayhem Devil, unknown card in hand, and then a new card that they just drew. And they didn't have anything. Very nice. Mayhem Devil in hand, I think I'm going to detain the Witch's Oven. Kind of sucks to do, but yeah, because they can make a copy of the Mayhem Devil with Reflection, they still get to ping us for 2, but they need another thing to ping us for 3. I guess they can, once it sacrifices at end step, kill the rest of our things. And who knows, they might just have another sack outlet. Their deck is certainly full of them. Yeah, I think they got the gist. Yep. Maybe it was wrong to do the Deputy. Starting to think it might have been, but if we draw a white source, we do not. I think this game has slipped out of our grasp, so I am going to concede. Yeah, we were not drawing lands for a while. Think I'm gonna try. No, I still like Thalia enough, even if she is a little fragile. I don't think anything else needs to go here. I think we just need to keep a 3-land hand and draw well. Okay, that's a 1-land hand with all 4 Thraben Inspectors. This is a 2-land hand. Okay. I don't think I'm going to go down to 5. I think I'm just going to do my best and draw a land next turn. No Thoughtseize is nice to see. Cool. Very, very happy to see that one. Whew. Okay. We'll get a redraw with the clue token and slam Oketra's Monument. I don't think they saw Monument game 1. So maybe they don't bring in K-Command. Because I've had people bring in K-Command versus me a lot. And it is brutal. But if you don't see the Monument, you don't bring it in. Priest. That will be back in their hand in a second. Okay, 2 mana, 2 mana. I don't think I want to commit Charming Prince and Reflector Mage here. Charming Prince is just so good. So I think I'm going to start with a Selfless Spirit. And then follow up with a Reflector Mage. And I'm starting to think I am going to go for the Charming Prince here. Just because we do have Skyclave. But we do become pretty weak to Corvold. Let's think about this. What would Charming Prince do? Pretty much guaranteed to scry 2 here, I think. Blood Tithe Harvester, pretty good. If I don't bounce the Blood Tithe Harvester, they can just kill our Selfless Spirit. And we bounced Priest. I think I am gonna Charming Prince and bounce the Blood Tithe Harvester. Oh, push. On Reflector Mage. Okay, so I guess we have to decide now what we're doing. We already don't really, or I guess we aren't too worried about Corvold here. I think I've convinced myself to bounce that bad boy back to their hand. Shocking, playing, exiling, returning. And I think the biggest reason for this is we just have such a strong tempo lead on them. If they just play Mayhem Devil, they're in for a world of pain. They can't even sack. Okay, now we have an answer for Corvold. I think this game is pretty close to in the bag now, barring an unfortunate like Anger of the Gods, which we would really hate to see. But we have an answer for just about anything they do, barring Anger, which again, I don't think this deck gets to run, being a creature deck that I bring in Anger versus. Okay, Blood Tithe Harvester with their Blood Tithe token. I think they might just be dead on board. I'm gonna calculate it once I get to my turn. Okay, well now they're very dead on board, but let's say we exile 1, it doesn't matter. They block the biggest one, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, they were very dead. We'll just show them just how dead they really are. Okay, they don't even get to see. We'll reveal our hand anyway. So yeah, pretty stompy game versus Jund Sack. They did get us in one of the games, but we got there in game 3, and I will see you in match 4. Here we are going second versus unknown opponent in match number 4. This is a Snapkeep hand. We have a lot of great stuff, including a Monument. I'm hoping that we are facing like humans or something of that nature. Just not mono green, please. Okay, looks like, is it Delver? Or not, is it Delver? Is it Phoenix? I don't know why I say Delver. Thalia is pretty good into them, even if she's coming down turn 4. Okay. Yeah, and the reason I thought it was that instead of control is control almost always plays a tap land that's blue-white on turn 1. Phoenix, on the other hand, they are more likely to play... Okay. So we are going to be pivoting from our regularly scheduled Oketra's Monument plan to hopefully ruin their life by playing Thalia. Ah, no, they drew it. Ledger Shredder, that's fine. I was really hoping to just ruin their day. We still are kind of ruining their day. Get reflected, nerd. And yeah, we can cast Oketra's Monument next turn. Sucks to do it for 4 mana, but we know they're stuck on lands. And hey, if they kill our Thalia, which they do, we can Oketra's Monument plus Charming Prince. Yeah, they stumbled a teeny tiny bit, and wow, we are gonna take advantage of them. And in these positions, I've seen a lot of players, because Thraben Inspector and Charming Prince go pretty well hand in hand, who flicker this, but we're just so mana hungry, and this is not a matchup where we have the luxury of time, that I like to scry instead of get a clue token. Sure, I'll take another land. Maybe we should have dug for like Charming Prince, Reflector Mage, Deputy Detention, but whatever. Do they get their 3rd land? They're opting. I guess they're deciding that if they don't draw it, they're conceding. They do get it. They bottom a card. Yeah, they did bottom. Wow, we got a Plains? I think I'm going to Bugler first. I guess it really doesn't matter. We do give them a Connive, unfortunately. But I'm going to swing out with everything, except... no, even the Warrior's fine. If it dies, it dies. That means we get 5 damage through, which is a good chunk. And doing that... yeah, I will go Bugler first. See if we can't get a removal spell. Okay. Cast the Guard Mage. They connive. Put a Phoenix in grave, and we draw Westvale Abbey. Ooh, this might be the first time we get to actually activate it in a league. If they are not careful and attack with the Ledger Shredder, which I don't think they would, but if they do, they just die. I mean, they're pretty likely to just die anyways, but I really want to show this card. Okay. No, they're still not attacking. There's no way they ever attack. And they're exiling 6 cards, keeping their Phoenix, drawing 3. Yep. There's no way they're gonna attack here. 2nd Phoenix, that's kind of scary. Maybe they do attack with everything, who knows? But I would really like to do that. Okay, they're not attacking. Yeah. Are they still just dead? They block here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down to 1. What a position to be at. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I think I am going to crack a clue first. No, we Elite Guard Mage first. Because this way any of our removal is live. Other way around wouldn't make sense. And if we draw dead, we'll just... So, barring a crazy combo kill turn, I feel good about our position. It is Phoenix, though. They could take 3 turns and we'd lose. But they are at 1. Try and conceal a little bit more information. I don't think we actually commit the Thraben Inspector. Our board is the same whether it has 2 more power, but giving them an extra draw might be our downfall. Mainly because of the discard. I don't want... If they're 1 card away from taking an extra turn, I would feel so bad if we gave them that. been a Jawari. Maybe we should have gone for the Clue Crack, just in case we hit any of our 2-drops. Kill our Garden Mage, like almost assuredly. Yep. Drop an Opt. Good part about gaining all this life is we're not as weak to taking 13 as we normally would be. And let's see, if this is removal spell. Yeah, I think we have a guaranteed victory here. Thanks in no small part to them just missing a land drop and us capitalizing on it hard. Alright, opponent. Unless they've got like a 1-mana spell that can kill 2 things, they're just dead on board. Okay, Oketra's Monument, so it wouldn't have mattered there. And unfortunately, Westvale Abbey does not get them any more dead. All we have to do is right-click, left-click, and there we go. Begin sideboarding. Rest in Peace, an obvious pick. Skyclave is better than Reflector Mage, or sorry, better than... Actually, let's think about that. Deputy is better against Phoenix. Reflector Mage is better against, like, Ledger Shredder. I think that's the only other creature they run nowadays. I see some that run Thing in the Ice, but I don't think they're going to. Yep, drop the deputies down a little bit, and I like this row. Maybe Angel can go, but it does fly. I'll cut on an Intrepid Adversary. Normally like keeping it. It's pretty good, but it's unsearchable off Bugler, and at least this has flying, and if it dies for 4 mana, it leaves behind 2 bodies. So we'll go with that and see where it takes us. Pretty good hand. Would love if any of these cards were Rest in Peace, but Thalia Bugler, pretty nice. Selfless Spirit is a good pickup. Looking for blue source, Monument, Rest in Peace. Okay. Play this now. Probably dies. Dies. Consideration to go for Selfless Spirit there. I've decided not to consider. Okay. They are once again stuck on lands. And I am going to take the opportunity to exile this very nice looking young Pyromancer. They can always get back a 2/2. But at least they won't have like 45 2/2s. Okay, we also miss on the land, but notably we do have 3, which is our choke point. Bugler. I guess was I like thinking about Reflector Mage? It's not like I could anyway. Okay, well we take 3 non-lands off the top, which is fine. And they don't have any cantrips either, so maybe they just are, what's the 3 mana? Poor piece of the puzzle? Looks like that was what they had in hand. And they only get another pieces of the puzzle. We get another land. Pretty good one too. We're getting to attacking. And then post-combat will be another Bugler. Hopefully that picks up a 1-drop. And if it doesn't pick up a 1-drop, hopefully it picks up an any drop, since we're pretty much at the point where we can cast whatever we want. Okay. I think we actually have enough removal. Guard Mage kind of fills out our mana nicely. We put the second monument on the bottom now, so we've only got 2 of those remaining in the top 40 cards. Looks like another pieces of the puzzle. Can just yield through. They get another single hit. Getting a little lucky with these ones. Oh no, they did get opt. I just clicked through that too quickly. My mistake. They're not opting. They should definitely opt. Shouldn't they try and get their next land drop? Did they miss a land that turn? Yeah. Okay, so they did play a land. My bad. Okay. A braid and opt. I think I am going to start by playing my land. The options are Angel of Invention and Selfless Spirit plus Bugler. Either of those 2 combinations. We're weaker to removal if we do that. And if we do the Selfless Spirit line, basically every turn after is stronger against removal. I think I am going to go for the Selfless Spirit line here. We can deal with them a lot better in the air with Selfless Spirit holding our stuff together. And we have a 2-turn clock no matter how you slice it. I think I'll start with the Bugler. Okay. If we draw Prince off of the Bugler, would I play that over the Spirit? No. So we'll just go for the Spirit first. Still think if they had a removal spell, they would have done it when we went to attacks. But who knows. Okay, Charming Prince. Sure. That card is a wild card in our deck. Does everything we need it to. He'll probably opt in to turn. Okay, we knew about that one. They bottom. I guess they're looking for probably some time walk effects to get themselves out of this. I don't know. They're not in a good spot, tell you that much. Facing down a pretty lethal attack. Is this a braid? No, this is the exile. Draw 3. Treasure Cruise. So they can't kill me. If they can't kill me this turn, I don't think there's any way they survive. Unless they hold open double removal spell. Kill the Selfless Spirit now. Angel of Invention they can kill. Land, a braid. That's all we know about. They go for the braid. I will 100% fire that off now. Approximately 0% reason not to. And they discard to hand size and clean up. They're unfortunately forced to discard an Arclight Phoenix. What a somber day for them. Yeah, I think we go for an Angel here. If they have removal for Skyclave Apparition, that's the only way they can survive. And with Angel, they'd need removal for both, I believe. They kill that block there, yeah. So they'd need to have 2 removal spells to live here. Which this deck certainly could have. Hoping this just prompts the concession. There we go. Love to see that. Yeah, that was a good match versus Phoenix. Marred slightly by the fact that they missed land drops in both of the games, but I'm not going to complain too much about it. I still think, even if they didn't miss their land drop, which I think they only missed 1 this game, I still think we would have been favored there. We had so much untapped removal that we were basically just putting down our value plays since they weren't giving us any way to interact with them. Yeah, see you in match 5. Here we are for match number 5. We are going first. And this is a pretty textbook hand. We have 1-drop, 2-drop Monument. Just really hope this is not a mono green. We've dodged it for the first 4 matches. Would really like to dodge it for one more. Would love for this to be mono red, Rakdos, midrange, humans, heroic. Heck, I'd even take control. But let's see. They kept their hand, no companion. Okay, looks like another Phoenix deck. Very nice to have a monument. We'll go swinging at their face. And deploy ourselves a Scry 2. There's some argument that we should go for the Selfless Spirit now. I'm choosing to ignore those arguments. I think we can bottom both of these. Would like a 4th land at some point. They don't have turn 1 anything. But they do have turn 2 Shredder. Okay, we do get another land. I'm quite pleased with that. We are free to attack at this point. They'll take 1 damage, most likely. Maybe a little fear in our opponent's heart would have got them to not block, but I think they're smart and did block the Charming Prince, knowing that even though we look like a humans deck, we're not going to have any instant speed nonsense. They just pass it back now, y'all. Get to swinging. Get our 1 point of damage in. And we'll bugle. See if we can't find something good. Reflector Mage is pretty good. The reason I'm thinking is because Charming Prince could also draw us another card, but I think we have enough value with the Clue token to do this. Don't love giving them Connive, but I do love putting them back on tempo with Ledger Shredder. They pitch an Arclight Phoenix, and it looks like they're going to be killing something. Galvanic Iteration. They're just going to get a Connive, maybe like discard, kill 2 of our things. Yep. Another Arclight Phoenix. This explains why the slow hand was such a keep for them. Pieces of the puzzle, so they're taking a turn off. And they hit some pretty exceptional cards. They keep Fire Impulse and Strangle, so they're just keeping all the removal they can. We'll swing out first since they might just try and kill our stuff now. And I think I will draw here. Another Monument. Kind of actively not what we're looking for. And this Selfless Spirit is going to die. But that's okay. We still are putting on a lot of damage. Yep. Not even going to sack, they don't have any mana. So, if we'd done our other play instead of bouncing, would we be in a better position? Probably. And they're going to draw 3. Hate to see. And they have pretty likely chance that they've got another 1-drop spell with them discarding Spikefield Hazard. Yeah. So they can bring back Double Phoenix, which is quite bad for us. Need something good here. Maybe some value would be nice. I'll take a Deputy. Okay, so they block 1. If they have an extra turn spell, we just lose 1, 2, 3, 4. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3. I'll just take the Phoenixes and hope they are out of removal. Kind of unlikely, but Ledger Shredder is not really a good thing to take. Because if they have the extra turn spell, they just win on the spot. Pieces of the puzzle, please not removal. Not removal. Consider. They get another look. Consider. They get another look. Steam Vents. Okay, let me just verify that I read this correctly. Castle Ardenvale is probably the best land we could have asked for, even if I would not rather have land. Piece of the puzzle, chart of course, okay. So they're gonna have like 8 more looks at a kill spell this next turn. I think we had a lot of draws that did kill them. But we didn't get it. So here we are. Definitely going to start with pieces, I think. Nope, iteration. I guess pieces can look at 10 cards. Are they taking 2 extra turns? That's fine. By fine, of course, I mean definitely not fine, but... Ooh, that's bad. We are just dead. Very fun. Not much we could have done about that one, I don't think. Would have liked Athalia a little earlier. Yeah, if we drew Angel, if we drew Adversary, if we drew Bugler, if we drew Guard Mage, we would have had a much better shot there. But no reason to dwell on that any more than we already have. What did I take out last time? I think it was 2 Deputy. I'm actually going to check real quick. Okay, so it looks like I cut all 3 Deputies and 1 Adversary. I wasn't sure if I cut the last Deputy, but as shown in that game, not the best. Would love to see Rest in Peace in the opening hand, along with, like, you know, a good hand. Okay, yeah, this is pretty great. This definitely gives us a good chance of winning. Fingers crossed on a 3rd land and a 4th land, but Rest in Peace should take us far. I'm probably not going to put it down. Okay. Do I put it down now? Probably not. I want to get my Scry going. This plays into their removal. Okay. I can't keep both of these on top. And if Charming Prince is just going to be Scry body, I'm going to bottom him. Let's see what they do. Just consider. They keep it on top. If they tap out for Ledger Shredder, I'm going to bounce it here. Okay. Another land. Pleased with that. Swing 2. Next turn we can Shredder, or sorry, Selfless Rest in Peace without having to worry about Shredder. Gigantha. Nothing else from our opponent. Well, no real reason to not attack. Maybe they're gonna kill something. Nope. Take him to 12. Nope, they're gonna kill our card. Oh no. Well, they could have always done that in response, so it doesn't really matter what we did in what order. But now I will deploy the Spirit. And Rest in Peace. Maybe I should have done that in the different order. If they have Spell Pierce, I get really punished. Okay, they did not. Yeah, I 100% should have done that in the other order. Could have just lost on the spot to that. Shreddy. Strangle. Well, I'll definitely be giving it Indestructible. Not like it matters, but... Okay, Delving is not too good at the moment for them. I will happily return this to their hand. Get out another friend and put him down to 12. We're a few lands away from Westvale Abbey turning, but this is one of the matchups where it is pretty good since they just don't have removal that interacts with it, since they haven't shown a thing in the ice. Okay, Monument. I think I'm okay with taking a turn off to deploy the Monument. It's a lot of removal, opponent. But yeah, you saw the Abrade there. Be a lot worse if we were running Hearse. And we'll deploy our Monument now that the Abrade is gone as well. Definitely could have another. Shredder. Impulse. Removal spell number 4, 5. Yeah. Discards an Arclight Phoenix. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Well, Angel is bigger, and therefore it will be our play. Gonna choose Servo. All their removal can deal 3, except Fire Impulse I guess doesn't, so maybe that was the call. They get 2 loot twice. Discard Phoenix. Discard land. Lightning Axe. That's fine. Would have loved for one of these to have been Reflector Mage or Analogs. Spirit, I think, is better than Thraben Inspector here. Again, hate giving them Surveils, but they do only have 1 card in hand, so it's a little bit weaker for them. They'll probably just, yeah. Okay, so they do run Spell Pierce, now we know. So we definitely could have just lost to that. But we have a decent fleet in the air. They have only 2 cards. Okay, now they have 3 cards. They should take Opt-Opt, right? Yeah, Opt-Opt. So they have discarded the second Opt and an Island. So we don't know any of the cards in their hand. They're getting a little scary. But if they swing out, they just lose? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, they don't just lose. Not unless we draw one of our lords. But they have every right to be afraid of them. Otawara. I'm actually pretty okay with bouncing back the bigger Shredder. It's going to clear a little bit off, but there's also the option for the Westvale Abbey line in 1 turn. Let me think about this for a second. They can't take extra turns realistically. We have Selfless Spirit. If we bounce it, they take 4. And they can just plop it down again. And this would also take up our entire turn. I like the line, but I think it's a little too passive. We get another land, which is good, I guess. This at least fills up the board a little bit more, and we've guaranteed ourselves a 1-way ticket to Ormondal. If we attack with everything, they block these and take 4. If we don't attack, we can attack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm actually kind of keen on not attacking just because it makes our Ormondal more likely. Might be a mistake, but we can at least hold them off somewhat in the air. These are getting pretty big. Young Pyromancer. Charm on here. Can just do that, and I will yield until end step. Discard Thing in the Ice. Okay, good to know they have Thing in the Ice. Nice to see another land. Not really nice to see another other land, but the Prince is certainly profane here. 1, 2. These 2 are weaker. God, I think it's glitching out a little bit. Here we go. 1, 2. 3, 4. And do I want a Vigilant 1/1 or a 1/2? I have decided we're just attacking with Ormondal. It already forces a chump block, so the rest doesn't really matter. We could attack with both of them if 1 damage is worth getting our Guard Mage killed, but lifelink, pretty exceptional here, and flying, notably. They can definitely have Odawara to ruin our day. Second Pyromancer. Okay, now it doesn't matter. Barring another flyer, they are just dead here. Cool. I think they see the writing on the wall. Didn't even have to show them Odawara. We weren't drawn out of that, so I'm glad we took that line. Okay. Seeing the Thing in the Ice, do I make any changes? Portable Hold does hit a lot of their stuff, and they brought in Pyromancers, so I think it's better. I'll cut Adversary here, and I'm gonna cut... Could cut Athalia. I think it's still pretty good. Maybe an Angel of Invention, just because it's pretty fragile, even if it's really good. It's also possible we should cut an Oketra's Monument, since they have a Braid and Spell Pierce. It's between one of these two. I don't think we can afford to clog our hand up with monuments, so I'll cut one of those. If they were like Rakdos Midrange, I wouldn't do that, but I think I'm willing to do that. Play here. Hope for another Rest in Peace in the opener. That was quite a good way to win the game. It's like Void Winnower in Titan. It alone doesn't end the game immediately, but it gives us so much time to do our game plan that it's good. Not a keepable hand. Better. Looking for land 3, Charming Prince, and of course, Rest in Peace. Or else we can say Rest in Peace to our chances of winning. Okay, we got the third land at least. So we're not helpless to literally cast nothing in our hand. Okay, it looks like they're looking for land number 2, which they did get. Unfortunately, I might say. Pieces of the puzzle. They take a braid. But we have backup Oketra Monument. Okay, so they took pieces and a braid, yeah. So, with the braid, I'm good to do this. Treasure Cruise, really unfortunate. A braid. Yeah, go ahead and discard your Phoenix. No? Would have liked another land. Inspector's quite good still. Please don't spell pierce this. Okay. Shredder Boy. Chart some courses. Discard an Impulse. And then discard a puzzle. Still stuck on lands, but Reflector Mage deployed. I think it's better than Skyclave here, just because it doesn't have haste. Plop down our Thraben Inspector. Our Reflector Mage dies. Another Treasure Cruise. Up to a kind of ridiculous 9 cards in hand. I think we just want lands now. All we need is lands. Pieces of the puzzle. I don't really know why they're doing that. They have enough cards in hand. But they only got 1 anyway. 2 Phoenixes. Very frightening. Really need land. Missed again. I will at least exile one of these. Not like a big fan of giving them a 4/4 if they kill it, but at least it's just a 4/4, not a flying haste 4/4. That'd be kind of ridiculous. And it's gone forever. Shredder, much better use of our Reflector Mage. Spikefield Hazard, I'll let them connive first. It's bad. Starting to slip away from us, piece by piece. The Opt. Yeah, now it's our turn to get absolutely destroyed on missing land drops. Okay, well that's a tapped source. That sucks so bad. We have to play it out. Try not to get too beat up about it. Okay, well, we lose here. We could have bounced the Shredder to stay alive, but I don't think... I guess we're not technically dead, because we gained the life and whatnot, but... we're functionally dead here. Thought we'd get a 5-0. Was really hoping for that, since this deck is quite fun, and we had a promising start, but... looks like another 4-1's about what we're gonna be getting here. Oh yeah, they just killed us. We have no blocks. Welp, that's sad. I don't think we should have done anything that differently. But yeah, that's Blue-White Monument. I think it, despite not getting a 5-0, put up a pretty good showing. Very fun deck. Dodge mono green if you're given the choice. And as always, thanks for watching.